going on, everybody? Welcome into Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, we're going to be going over some winners and some losers from Minnesota Vikings Minicamp, as there are no true real losers, but, I still wanted to talk about some guys that, their stock may have gone down over the past couple of days. But before we dive into that, we are closing in on 26,000 subscribers here on the channel. We are 108 subs away from hitting that milestone. So if you guys haven't already, I would really appreciate it. Hit that sub button, lock us in, and I promise you, I will keep you posted with the latest around your favorite football team. So hit that sub button and lock us in. But the number one winner that I wanted to talk about today is J.J. McCarthy. And now, is he a winner in the sense that, he got the quarterback one job and he beat out Sam Darnold? No, but in my opinion, he is a winner in the sense that he looked the part throughout the first 3 days of Vikings minicamp. And actually, Paul Allen, play-by-play announcer for our Minnesota Vikings, shout out to him. He honestly was a big reason why I fell in love with the Vikings growing up, but he tweeted this out earlier today. He said, super windy day at Vikings minicamp, and quarterback J.J. McCarthy's passes cut through it like the clenched knife through butter. Holy cow, does he have a wonderful arm talent. So great news coming in there from PA is, he is saying JJ is passing the eye test. And, there was actually one concern I had about McCarthy is like when he goes to these cold weather games, whether it's, in Green Bay, in Chicago in December, January, how would his game, translate when obviously those games will be colder and windier? Well, PA has all types of confidence in JJ being able to get it done. But not only PA, but also Justin Jefferson is showing love to the new guy, JJ McCarthy. And this quote from Jefferson is absolutely awesome. He said, "A new energy, a new soul. I love his confidence. I love his attitude. Of course, with him coming off a championship, you can't have more confidence than that. And that confidence is going to continue to be with him. And it's my job to install that into his brain throughout the whole entire season. And of course, by giving him extra confidence by throwing me the ball." And I absolutely love that from Jefferson, just kind of instilling some confidence into the young quarterback. And Vikings fans, I just have 4 words to say. Be patient, Vikings fans. Like, it is going to be a process with J.J. McCarthy. And I know I am fiending for the JJ to JJ content. And we actually haven't even seen a video of Jefferson and J.J. McCarthy connecting on a pass so far, mainly because McCarthy's been working with the 2s and the 3s throughout minicamp, but the time will come. Just be patient. He just turned 21 years old in January. This is not a pick where we needed him to start right away and be quarterback one, week 1 versus the New York Giants. We're talking about next year. We're talking about years 3, 4, and 5 of his NFL career, where I think the Minnesota Vikings are aiming for their Super Bowl window. So just be patient. But as it stands right now, JJ is absolutely looking the part so far. But number 2, the biggest winner for me, or the second biggest winner for me, is Justin Jefferson, mainly because he got paid and he showed up to Minnesota Vikings minicamp. And I'll tell you guys a quick loser right now is to everybody who believed in the trade rumors. Shout out to Mike Florio. Shout out to Charlie Walters for putting that nonsense out there and saying the Vikings, were taking calls for Justin Jefferson. Kevin O'Connell absolutely shut that down, and Kwesi shut that down during the press conference when announcing the news of the Jefferson extension, saying they did not take any calls or they didn't even consider trading number 18. And then also Kevin O'Connell said this about Jettas. He said, Jefferson got off to a great start. He is in great shape and he is dialed in. And from every clip I've seen, Jefferson is giving his 110% on every single rep. And that is always the thing I respected about him the most. Because if we're being honest, he's top dog on that team. He already knows how good he is. Like, he could just be coasting through these workouts. But he is setting the example, and he is absolutely busting his ass, and it's just stuff, you love to see. But Aaron Jones was taken away by Justin Jefferson, and he said this after minicamp. He says, "I've played with the number 1 receiver, Davante Adams, and now being here with a number 1 receiver like Jefferson, and then 2 number 1s, if you ask me, talking about Jordan Addison, or 3 number 1s if you throw TJ in there, it's like, who are you going to guard?" I told JJ today, I'm like, man, I'm ready to get on the field with you because you're going to make my job easier. He's like, nah, you're going to make my job easier. I guess that's what we're here for. He is going to take some attention off me. Hopefully I could do the same. Love that quote from Aaron Jones. But another big part of Jefferson's offseason is, stepping into that leader role. And I think with Kirk Cousins exiting the building, Jefferson is going to need to do that. And he said, now being a leader of this team, I'm going to start carrying myself a different way. I'm going to be hard on everyone. make sure we are working to where we want to go, which is a world championship for the Minnesota Vikings. And, when I was listening to Jefferson's press conference, he was just talking like a leader would. He was talking like a quarterback would. And that's what I love to see, because I think, we're in the day and age where everybody is just assuming that the face of the franchise, the leader of the football team, has to be the quarterback. I think it's different with this football team here in Minnesota. It can be Justin Jefferson. It can be a wide receiver. And he is absolutely talking, walking, and just looking the part of being a face of a franchise guy. So shout out to number 18. But also shout out to Agent Zero, Ivan Pace Jr., as he is turning heads at minicamp so far. And the coaching staff is absolutely raving about him. And overall, the linebackers have been getting a ton of love. But we shared this quote yesterday from Kevin O'Connell talking about, how, the steps that Ivan Pace has taken from years 1 to 2. He said it's remarkable, even where he's at right now, to think that this is just his second year. He's had a very good spring, just the type of communication that Flo is putting on his plate. Talking about Ivan Pace wearing the green dot at these mini camps, and he is going to, be calling the plays on defense, and he is going to be the vocal leader in that huddle. But, also guys like Blake Cashman had a good mini camp. Brian Asamoah actually finally, maybe having that breakout years. He is looking the part as well. And I'll throw this hot take out there. I think Ivan Pace Zero, which is what I've been calling him here lately. It was actually a hiccup on a video a couple days ago. I was calling him Ivan Pace Jr., or I called him Ivan Pace Zero on accident when I meant to say Ivan Pace Jr., but I kind of like it. Ivan Pace Zero is who he will be referred to as of now on the channel, but I think he's going to be a Pro Bowler this season. I think he's going to go over 100 tackles, have a couple interceptions, and just be that menace out there on the football field. So shout out to Agent Zero, Ivan Pace. But another winner for me is the other first-round pick for the Minnesota Vikings, Dallas Turner off the edge. And there was a sweet quote. It was Christian Darrisaw talking about Dallas Turner, and he said he saw Turner put on a spin move on another offensive lineman, and he actually compared it to Danielle Hunter's spin move, and he said it was a whole lot faster than that. And obviously, us Vikings fans know Danielle Hunter had one of the fastest spin moves in the NFL, and he already said Dallas Turner is looking that part in terms of that department. So shout out to 15, shout out to that Dallas Turner. He's been absolutely killing it, and I cannot wait to see what Flores has dialed up for him. Lining up 6-7 guys on that line of scrimmage, and you got to pick and choose who's coming. Reason why Dallas Turner was picked at 17 was because he also has the ability to drop in coverage on top of his elite ability at getting to the quarterback. But we got more winners and more losers coming up for you guys here in a second. But first, if you guys could give me a follow on Twitter, that's the handle right there, at Pat Sieps. I'm actually one follower away from 500, so if you guys could help me cross that milestone, that'll be awesome. But link for that will be in the comment section and description of today's show. And also want to give a huge shout out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app and use promo code CLNS when you're making your first deposit, and we will match it up to $100. Prize Picks is daily fantasy sports made easy, and when you use promo code CLNS, we will match it up to $100. And the NBA Finals is kicking off tonight. Sadly, it is not our Minnesota Timberwolves playing in that ball game, but I'm still excited to watch it, and creating a Prize Picks lineup is the best way to add more juice to that game. I'm going to take the more on Jason Tatum, half a point, more on the Luka Doncic, 31.5 points, and then, Derek Lively. Us Timberwolves fans know how fantastic he was in the Western Conference Finals, so I'm going to take the more on his 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. But if you want to fade those picks, ride with those picks, I just ask you guys to do so at Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. It's Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Check it out. Link for that will be in the comment section and description of today's show. So my last winner on the list is Jordan Addison, and I want to throw an honorable mention out there, the Robert Tonyan, as Alec Lewis tweeted out yesterday that he has been absolutely killing it as well. But another pass catcher, Jordan Addison, and Alec Lewis, funny enough, wrote this article a couple days ago talking about how Addison has looked at this minicamp period, and he said he simply looks different than the rest of the league, or rest of the wideouts, in the way he hinges off routes and glides across the field. The Vikings will need him to step up if tight end TJ Hawkinson misses time early and Addison looks ready to do so. And I feel like Jordan Addison is kind of became one of the most best kept secrets in the NFL. I felt like his rookie year got undervalued and underappreciated from the big time NFL media circles, and I think people view him as a elite wide receiver too. I think Jordan Addison's a wide receiver one. It's just he's got Justin Jefferson in the same group as he is. So I think people are sleeping on him, and I think it's just going to be, maybe it's not a huge statistical year for Jordan Addison, but in terms of the production, in terms of just his overall play and quality of play, I feel like it's going to be through the roof, and I just can't wait to see number 3 go out here next season and ball. But we do have 3 losers, and again, these are not like true losers in terms of like, oh, they went out there and they stunk it up at Minnesota Vikings minicamp. But number 1 loser for me is Jaren Hall. I think it is more likely than not that Jaren Hall will be cut. And Jaren Hall, it was fun for that half of football that he started last season, but Nick Mullins has been getting the quarterback 2 reps behind Sam Darnold, and J.J. McCarthy's been getting the quarterback 3 reps. So, it's going to be an uphill battle for Hall to make this football team, and if the Vikings do end up, keeping 3 quarterbacks, he will be on the outside looking in. So, Jaren Hall, that's why you are the number 1 loser, in my opinion. But another loser here, and it kind of hurts to say, but Lewis Cine, he has not had a good minicamp and honestly OTA session. He got beat over the top a couple of times. He dropped an interception. And with how loaded this Vikings safety room is with Harrison Smith, Josh Metellus, Cam Bynum, like that 3-headed monster, it's going to be tough for him to crack that rotation. And even guys like Jay Ward, Theo Jackson, like they are ahead of the depth chart in comparison to former first-round pick Lewis Cine. So honestly, I'll throw this out there, bold take. Lewis Cine does not make the 53-man roster. That's going to be my hot take heading into the season. So just keep your eyes out for that one. And then my last loser, kind of chalky, kind of corny, but I'm going to put NFL media. If you look at any, NFC North rankings heading into the season, every single NFL media member, NFL analyst has the Minnesota Vikings finishing dead last. You pull up the odds to win the division. The Vikings are at plus 950, by far the worst in the entire division for the NFC North. I think the Vikings, I'm not saying they are a true Super Bowl team this year. I'm not even saying they're going to win a playoff game, but they will win more than 6.5 games, and that's what the over-under is for Vegas right now. I think they're going to turn a lot of heads. I think people are just undervaluing, the whole 53-man roster and just kind of putting too much stock into the quarterback position. And I get it. It's the most important position in all of sports, but I think the Vikings have I think the Vikings are going to be similar to what the 49ers were a couple years ago when that roster was really coming together and you just had such a loaded team around, whoever it may be at the quarterback position. But you guys let me know, who are you most excited to watch play for the Vikings this season? If I had to pick one, so I just put myself on the spot there. I did not have an answer in my head. Who am I most excited to watch? Who'd you say? Dallas Turner. Yeah, I'll go that. I got Trace in my ear saying Ivan Pace. I'll go Ivan Pace personally. Just seeing him rock the number 0 in the visor, I just can't wait. Aura is the word for Ivan Pace. But if you guys could also give me a follow on Twitter as well. That's the handle right there, at Pat Sieps. And thank you guys so much for watching. But that concludes Minnesota Vikings minicamp. See you guys next time. As always, Skol Vikes.